The December frost glittered across Crescent Meadows, my Minnesota suburb, where my 50-acre ranch hummed with winter calm. I was checking my electric meter, prepping for holiday feast, when I noticed a spike, hundreds of dollars over my usual bill. A thick extension cord snaked from my barn's outlet, across the county line, to Karen Miller's HOA McMansion, where her shiny electric cycle charged. Karen, clipboard in hand, smirked from her driveway. "Your power's on our grid now, Sarah. Pay up or lose it." She'd been stealing my electricity for weeks, thinking she'd outsmarted me. Karen, who'd fenced my road, auctioned my ranch, and burned Ethan's Tesla, was now siphoning my power, claiming my ranch, on unincorporated county land, was HOA tied. What she didn't know was that I, Sarah, a farmer, conservationist, SWAT trainer, and amateur electrician, had a plan. I rigged a high-voltage circuit to my outlet, set to fry her cycle's battery without a trace. When she plugged in next, sparks flew, her cycle smoked, and she dialed 911, screaming about sabotage. I stood by my barn, phone filming, as Karen's cycle fizzled and neighbors gathered, stunned. This wasn't just theft, it was Karen's latest scam, blind to my land status and my wiring skills. My pulse raced, but a grin spread. She thought she could steal my power? I was about to turn her 911 call into a viral takedown, with my SWAT allies and community ready to expose her. Crescent Meadows would rally, and Karen's cycle would be her final burnout. What unfolded wasn't just me saving my power. It was a masterclass in justice, community strength, and electrical ingenuity that left Karen's HOA crushed, her scam exposed, and my ranch's grid secure. My circuit wasn't just wires, it was her downfall, and the sheriff's boots were closing in. Crescent Meadows was a defiant Minnesota suburb, its murals, snow-dusted gardens, and my Meadowmark Cafe a rebellion against Karen Miller's HOA tyranny. My 50-acre ranch, on unincorporated county land, was a working farm with cattle, crops, and a barn wired with my own solar-powered grid, all HOA exempt and leased to the state for sustainable agriculture. The county line ran along my fence, separating my land from Karen's HOA neighborhood. I'm Sarah, the farmer, Meadowmart owner, county wildlife conservation head, SWAT trainer, and tinkerer who'd crushed Karen 17 times, buying Meadowmart after a farm stand ban, exposing her assault on Lily, stopping her fishing derby, evicting her fishing club, jailing fake HOA cops, rallying for a pilot's defiance, retrieving my tow tractor, shutting down her cop call on my fence, backing Ibrahim Traore, ejecting her security patrol, protecting the Thompsons, winning court for my wrecked car, defending Ellen from fake cops, saving James's cabin water, freeing Marine sniper Elijah Rowe, stopping her ranch auction, and clearing my road with Grandpa Hank's tractor. My barn's outlet, a 240-volt feed, was my power hub, now hijacked by Karen's cord. Karen Miller, mid-50s, was a shameless thief, her clipboard a prop for her crimes. Exiled from the HOA, jailed for assault, and banned after a fence flop, she'd rigged an extension cord to my outlet to charge her $8,000 electric cycle, claiming my power was HOA shared. Her theft was a desperate bid to dodge her own bills, backed by a few HOA loyalists. Key allies included my mother, Ellen, a sharpshooting organizer, Grandpa Hank, a tractor-wielding farmer, Dr. James Thompson, a cybersecurity expert, Aisha, his wife, Ethan Carter, an undercover cop, Mia, his wife, Linda, our councilwoman, and Lily, my organizer. Deputy Harris, my SWAT friend, and Sheriff Carla Ruiz were on call. Neighbors like Mabel spotted Karen's cord, and the Crescent Meadows Forum, our digital hub, would spark the fight. The setting was my ranch's barn, a December evening in 2025, with snowflakes falling. Karen's cord, a heavy orange line, stretched from my outlet to her cycle in her HOA driveway. Her fake HOA power notice taped to my fence. My cameras, hidden in the barn, caught her plugging in nightly. Karen, by her cycle, dialed 911 when it sparked, claiming I'd attacked her. My ranch, county land, was untouchable, and her theft was a felony. This wasn't just about power. It was Karen's final assault on our freedom. As I filmed, this fight would echo our victories and redefine our town's spirit. Karen's 911 call was a frantic lie. "Someone sabotaged my cycle," she screeched, pointing at my barn as her cycle smoldered. I walked over, phone filming, and said, "You're stealing my power, Karen. This is county land, and you fried your own bike." Her jaw dropped. She hadn't seen my circuit. I called Sheriff Ruiz, who said, "Power theft? We're en route." Ellen texted my meter readings. "Karen scams exposed." James sent my solar grid logs, saying, "She's draining your system." I confronted Karen, showing my phone. "Your cord's on my cameras, stealing my electricity." She waived her fake notice, claiming I owed HOA grid fees. I live-streamed. "Karen's using my power to charge her cycle. I fried it legally." Hashtags Karen steals power and hashtag Save Sarah's grid trended, hitting 600,000 views. Lily streamed from Meadowmart, showing my grid logs. "Crescent Meadows stands with Sarah," she said, hitting 700,000 views. Ethan handed out flyers about county power laws, explaining, "Sarah's grid is private. Karen's a thief." The forum surged with posts recalling her past, fencing my road, auctioning my ranch. Hashtag Karen Steals Power went national with a tweet. HOA Karen steals farmers' power, fries cycle on her trap. Hashtag Circuit Takedown. Karen rallied her HOA cronies, shouting, "Cut her power." But neighbors swarmed, chanting Sarah's grid. Mabel filmed Karen's cord, catching her unplugging it. I share my camera feed. "Karen stealing my electricity." The clip hit 8 million views. Aisha arrived, saying she targeted James's cabin. "We're testifying." Her clout shook Karen's cronies. Harris and Ruiz's SWAT team pulled up, lights flashing. "Drop the cord." Harris ordered Karen's goons, who froze. Karen screamed, "Sarah attacked me." But Ruiz held up Mabel's footage. "You're stealing power," she said. I live-streamed. "Karen's theft is busted. My grid's mine." The stream hit 12 million views, with news vans arriving. Comments flooded. "Sarah's a genius." "Karen's done." Linda arrived with a county utilities inspector, announcing Karen's theft is a felony on private land. The crowd chanted "Grid free" as Karen's cronies fled. The forum planned a grid-strong rally at Meadowmart, with music and power law talks. Karen tried one last lie, claiming the HOA controls my grid, but Ruiz showed my solar permit, private system. The stage was set, not just to stop her theft, but to crush her scam and rally Crescent Meadows. Her cycle was fried, and my circuit was live. My barn was a stronghold of justice. Karen stood by her smoking cycle, trembling, as Ruiz questioned her cronies. The livestream hit 20 million views, with hashtag Karen Steals Power and hashtag Save Sarah's Grid trending globally. Neighbors packed my ranch, waving signs, "Sarah's Circuit, no HOA theft." News crews broadcast live, anchors calling it a farmer stand against HOA piracy. The air buzzed, and I was ready to short-circuit Karen's reign. James addressed the crowd, voice clear. "Sarah's grid is private, HOA exempt. Karen's theft is a crime, caught on camera." He showed my solar logs and cord footage, proving her guilt. Neighbors gasped, sharing the clips online. Ellen handed out flyers, saying, "Sarah and Ethan fight for us." Karen's trespassing. The forum surged. Karen zapped. "Sarah's a hero." A viral tweet read, "HOA Karen steals farmers' power, gets cycle fried by her trap." Hashtag Karen steals power. Karen tried to spin it, shouting, "Sarah's grid owes HOA fees." But Ruiz held up her cronies' texts. Karen ordered the cord. "You're stealing electricity," she said. Karen's face fell. She hadn't known my circuit or permit. National energy groups joined X, posting, "Karen's theft is a disgrace. Support Sarah." The Change.org petition, Save Sarah's Grid, hit 900,000 signatures with comments like "Sarah's a badass" and "Karen's done." Linda spoke to reporters, voice firm. "Sarah's grid powers our state, and her SWAT training protects us. Karen's theft threatens our community." She announced a council motion to fine the HOA $70,000 and ban power theft. The crowd roared, chanting "Grid free." The HOA, gutted by scandals, leaked emails disavowing Karen. She rigged it alone. Neighbors blocked her car, demanding justice, as Mia filmed. I grabbed the megaphone, heart racing. Karen thought she could steal my power, but my circuit and the law say no. I proposed a grid-strong rally at Meadowmart, with solar demos, music, and a fundraiser for grid security, inviting all. The crowd cheered, volunteering to testify. I shared online. Karen's theft failed. Join us to keep our grid strong. The livestream hit 30 million views, with hashtag GridStrong trending. Comments flooded. Sarah's unstoppable. Karen's fried. Karen made a last stand, yelling at Ruiz, "The HOA's above you." But Ethan revealed task force evidence, photos of Karen's cord setup. "You're charged with theft, trespass, and conspiracy," Ruiz said, cuffing her. The crowd parted, phones filming her walk to the cruiser. Lily's stream hit 35 million views, with comments like, "Bye, Karen." Circuit wins. News ran headlines. Farmers circuit fries, HOA, Karen's power theft. Aisha organized kids to paint grid-free signs, while James tied it to his cabin, saying, "Sarah and Ethan guard our power." Ruiz secured my outlet, and neighbors coiled her cord, turning chaos into unity. Linda promised county funding for a Sarah Sparks sign, marking my grid status. The stage was set for a victory that would save my power, end Karen's reign, and show Crescent Meadows' strength. Karen was cuffed, but what happened next would shock everyone. My ranch pulsed with triumph as Karen and her cronies were cuffed, her extension cord confiscated. The livestream hit 40 million views, with hashtag Karen Steals Power and hashtag Save Sarah's Grid trending worldwide. Neighbors filled my fields, guarding my barn as news crews filmed. I held the megaphone, my roles as farmer, conservationist, and SWAT trainer now a beacon, my circuit our symbol, ready to burn out Karen's scam. Ruiz addressed the crowd, voice commanding. Karen Miller and her accomplices face charges of theft, trespass, and conspiracy, with up to 5 years. The crowd roared, waving grid-free signs. Ruiz added, "Sarah's grid is private, and her cameras sealed their fate." Neighbors cheered, phones filming for the forum, where comments surged. "Karen's done. Sarah's our queen." Linda took the stage resolute. "Sarah's grid is our heart, and her circuit is our spark." Karen's theft was an attack on us all. She announced the council's vote, a $70,000 HOA fine, a ban on power theft, and funding for GridStrong. The crowd chanted "Grid-free" as kids handed me painted lightning bolts, symbols of our win. Ethan showed my solar permit, proving my grid status. "Sarah's circuit stopped Karen, like my Tesla stopped her," he said, sparking applause. I unveiled a Sarah Sparks sign sketch, county-backed, to mark my grid status. "This power's ours, not Karen's," I said, sharing it online, a barn under a bolt. The forum erupted. "Perfect. Sarah's legacy." Ruiz confirmed the evidence. Cameras, logs, cronies' texts was airtight. Karen and her crew pleaded guilty, facing jail and a town ban. My digital dossier, videos, permit, task force logs, was handed to the press, ensuring convictions. News ran it live. Farmer circuit stops HOA Karen's power theft. The crowd surged, music blaring, as GridStrong plans took shape. I gave a mic to Hank, who grinned. "Ain't no thief using my girl's power," he said, tractor nearby. Neighbors hugged him, patrolling my barn in solidarity. The sign contest launched, with entries flooding the forum. This wasn't just Karen's defeat. It was Crescent Meadows' triumph, proof our power could outshine theft. As night fell, my grid hummed, and my circuit sparked. Karen's conviction was Crescent Meadows' victory. News ran headlines like "Circuit Fries, HOA Power Theft," and "Sarah and Ethan Triumph." The live stream hit 130 million views, with hashtag Karen Steals Power trending for weeks. Fan art of my circuit as a justice bolt flooded the forum, and solar groups invited me to speak. Talk shows called, but I stayed grounded, saying this is about our power. GridStrong was a sensation. Thousands joined. Neighbors, kids, SWAT officers, testing solar kits, dancing, and unveiling the Sarah Sparks sign. Meadow Mart catered, and James led Eco Talks, tying my grid to his lake's bluefins. The event raised $130,000 for grid upgrades, and county leaders hailed it as a model. The forum buzzed with photos. Sarah's grid shines. No more Karens. The HOA was eradicated. Linda's vote fined at $70,000 and banned power theft, with new laws requiring county oversight. Karen and her cronies got 4 years each, banned from Crescent Meadows, and vanished. Karen to a city flat, reportedly arguing over utilities. Don't steal like Karen became a local joke, painted on meters. My barn became a tourist draw, with visitors posing by the sign. Meadow Mart and my farm stand soared, the cafe hosting grid nights with music and solar talks. Tourists flocked to Sarah's Spark, boosting sales. Neighbors brought gifts, bolt pins, swap patches, saying Hank and I inspired them. James's data showed my creek thriving, celebrated at a community feast. The digital dossier, videos, permit, logs, was studied for energy rights laws influencing policy. Ellen led barn tours, calling my circuit Sarah's Zap. Lily mentored kids, painting eco signs for the fields. The forum planned a Grid Freedom Fest with music, solar demos, and SWAT drills, cementing our spirit. Sarah and Hank turned Karen's theft into our triumph. One post read, I hired teens to monitor my grid, giving them pride. At the fest, under a Power Forever banner, Linda toasted, to Sarah, Hank, and Crescent Meadows, where sparks fly free. Fireworks burst, kids danced, and my grid glowed. Karen's theft had been a spark, but we built a legacy. Meadow Mart, my ranch, and James's Lake were our stronghold, proof no bully could drain our spirit. As stars shone, I knew Crescent Meadows would always stand tall, charged, and free.